back at PTS Fab. See what they got going on. What's up? Nothing. Busy today. Another day alive.
Another day
in the crazy Corona crisis. What are you guys doing?
I'm doing the manifold on the ARC-7, and then he's doing drive shaft safety loop on Bud's truck. They're putting the wheels on that, and they're dying on that, and he's working on that.
A lot going on today.
Yeah.
More than normal.
Yeah.
Alright, this is the one that I wanted to show you guys. It's something that he's been working on recently. Of course, he doesn't have any of what he's done on there right now. Hopefully he'll be putting it back together here soon, but that monster right there goes on to this little guy right here. Oh yeah, we'll walk around the whole car, get an idea of what it's in. Nice color too. I like that shit. Tiny little thing. Big old tire. Ooh.
Ballerific.
Yo.
That shit came out legit, man. Nice. What size is the turbo?
It's a 75, right? Okay.
75 for the camera. 75. Oh, 60. Oh, yeah, right. No, because if they see the Puerto Rican flag on there, they're gonna know this man ain't putting no gas. They gonna know this motherfucker.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Take it back. Got the back.
They see that, they're gonna be like, nah, oh yeah. They know already some power. Camera adds a little weight.
Yeah, exactly. This is just the lens that's on it. It looks wider than it actually is. Nick did an awesome job on this thing. Big old down pipe fits on through there. Comes out right there. Dude, it looks badass with the front end on it.
Ah, okay. So
really,
eso es la
nice.
señal, el pickup.
Fucker, I ain't got the fan on or nothing. Get smelly in here real quick. Alright, so obviously everybody's got a little bit of something going on right now. If he's done with that early, maybe that's all we'll do. We won't do any street driving around or anything like that. But if we have time, then I'm gonna go drive it around a little bit, get that all sorted out and whatnot. That way we're ready. Like I can start rolling into power a little bit on the street so that when we get on the dyno, we're just ready to hit it right away. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that.
I do have paper, but I just take paper.
Alright. So I got the truck over here. We just gotta swap out the tires real quick. Put these regular street tires on, get the slicks off. We'll pop it on the dyno and get to work. Excuse me.
What's the start RTM? He just changed it to 2500.
That's fine.
2500.
We can do 25. That's fine. Only matters for the first one anyway. All right, so we got all strapped up here. Got 4 straps going on so that hopefully it doesn't try to hop off. And I got my fire suit on so that I don't die.
You're fine, I'll sit on you.
Dustin's gonna be on top of the fire extinguisher duty again. Because if you'll remember, last time we were here, the car caught on fire. And everybody did a very good job at flailing their arms first and then going to get the fire extinguisher. Except Nick, I saw him run. He just ran out the front doorway over there.
All the way out the building.
Yeah.
I heard him screaming.
Yeah, you didn't see it in the video, but he came around the outside of the building back there. We're gonna turn the GoPros on this time so we don't miss anything in case something bad happens.
Or something good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be negative.
That's true. I appreciate your positive look on that.
I mean, fire out the downpipes every day.
That's true. I don't get it a whole lot. All right, so this first little bit is gonna be a little bit boring. We're just gonna be driving through everything. Well, boring, I should say. This is the same shit that I was doing the last time that the car caught on fire, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but we're just gonna run through some daily driving stuff and then I'll start getting into a little bit of load and see what it looks like before we even measure one of the passes. So yeah, we'll turn it down to gate, see what it does on gate, and just keep going up from there. Timing and everything should be fine. We're not gonna change anything with that. We're literally just making sure the injectors are all good, so a lot less time we gotta spend on it, just doing the fuel table. switch it back to raw duty cycle so that we could control it, because we were flooring it on the dyno, and because it was under the target, it was like bringing up the boost control solenoid to like 100% to get back up to that boost quick, and it was overshooting a little bit. So I'm doing raw duty cycle now, so it's not going to be the power band that I'll actually be using, you know, when I'm at the track or whatever. You know, it's going to make the boost at like the very end, which is fine for what we're doing. It doesn't really matter. So that first pull was at about 10% duty cycle, and it did about 8 pounds, and it did like, you know, a little bit over 600. A lot of torque though. It made like 700 foot-pounds of torque or something. The next pass was 25% duty cycle, but we didn't get the log of it, unfortunately. So fuel was good though, and that's all we're really doing here. Air fuel was spot on where it's supposed to be. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on to the next duty cycle, which is gonna be 35. So we'll see what that makes, maybe around like 15 or, you know, 16 or something like that. And then we'll go from there. Didn't log on the dyno on that pull, so I don't know what it made at 11.5 pounds.
Does it have stock push rods in it?
Yeah.
Stock?
Yeah. Like the ones that were in it.
Rad.
Is it not supposed to?
Well, I don't know.
They were a little rusty, I just cleaned them up.
That is amazing. Fuck it. Well, I mean, it's not like...
Nick always has like a question where he asks me, he's like, so wait a minute, this has something? And I'm like, yeah, is that wrong?
Yeah, I mean, push rods are push rods. It's not... Does it have a spring pack in it?
Yeah, it has
like
springs and
PTR or
retainers.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
But stock rockers and stock push rods.
Stock rocker bodies and bearings? Okay.
See? I mean, that's why I don't spin it high. That's why everybody's like, oh, why don't you spin it to that? Because I got stock shit in here. I don't know. Those rockers have...
Stock.
Yeah, those rockers and push rods have 165,000 miles on it. No, we're not spinning it crazy. The RPM that I want to turn it up to...
It's not like you're on some aggressive low profile to where it's...
Yeah, it's a Z06 cam.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's probably one reason why.
Yeah. And that way I haven't done anything terrible.
Bent stock push rods and
really
needle bearings falling apart.
Yeah, we'll put the upgraded rockers in the El Camino. Sure. So that should be easy to swap.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. We need to
stop
stop
the twins?
screwing with this thing and get on it. Huh?
Are you doing the twins on that still?
I'm not really a big fan of twins either, but Tanya wants twins. You know, I know. I could probably convince her. Man, we could put that freaking 75 on there, and we know exactly what it'll make.
Or two of those.
You know? Yeah. Or actually, we don't know what it'll make. It may make more because we'll have a converter in it that actually, you know, is worth a shit.
Sure. Twin S400s would be cool though.
That would be.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
Would be cool. But then we're in that same problem where our turbo vastly is capable of so much more than the motor.
It's 2020.
It's 2020.
Technology has
still
advanced.
using an 05 motor. Today's current date only makes that 2005 motor worse.
Sure. I don't know. But Gen 4 parts.
It's got Gen 4 parts. It's an 033.
See, then what are we worried about?
I don't know. What are we worried about? The face that you make when I say I have stock push rods.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, no, that's a problem.
Okay.
That's a problem.
I can. Those are easy to swap out though.
I don't like that. That's the limiting factor.
Right. Like I could do all of that without even taking the motor out.
I got a set of chroma push rods. We'll put that in there and then raise the chip up to like 77.
If we needed to, I don't know that I'll ever need to, unless I want to finish the 8th and
ultimately
2nd.
you definitely don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't have the cam for it anyways. I mean,
yeah.
You just took it to.
Did it fall off a little bit?
Hell no.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Like I said, 2,000 RPM. It's.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Like doesn't fall off. That was actually pretty impressive that you made that pedal.
Good power band.
Very
I didn't do it on purpose, but it's good.
Yeah, I think it was like.
Thanks, GM. didn't log it. Problem is it loads up totally different on the dyno. Max boost on here might not be until like 55.
Oh, that's interesting.
So trying to, I'm scared to. I guess I could just fucking put it. We'll do 50, which is probably going to be high. And if it goes too high, it'll revert to gate. If it goes over 20, I'll put it at 23 because I don't know what's going to happen. All right. Should be cool enough. Yeah. Try again. Can you turn that thing off? Okay, so that one was quite a bit spicy. So we did the pull, it was at about 50% duty cycle. The duty cycle on here is, I'm having to use more boost control duty cycle to yield the same amount of boost that we do when we're actually on the road, which is understandable, that's normal. So 50% yielded 22 pounds up at the very top, and it made 996, yeah, 996 and like 990 something torque. So just shy of 1,000 of what we were thinking it was actually making. Everything was good. The stuff that we wanted to see, everything was awesome. So the injectors that we used to do did not have fuel for this. We did not have converter for this. So both of those things were missing. And now we have converter that actually grips it. And now we also have a fuel injector that had more than enough. So we lowered that base fuel pressure, and all the way up through that pull, we maintained fuel pressure. It kept going up in fuel pressure, so we're not losing pump. The new injectors that used to be, the 1200s used to be at about 115%. It was just like going beyond 100%. On these, at that boost at the top RPM where it was using most fuel consumption, it was only at 58% duty cycle. Air fuel was spot on, around 1140, and the closed loop comp was -1%. So all good there. I think I'm going to squirt a little bit of fuel in it on the load cells above that and see what it does. So it was at pretty low timing, so I'm gonna give it a tiny bit of timing, and then we're gonna go up like 2% or something, see if we maybe get a tiny bit more boost out of it, because I know we're well into the cushion of this. Previous times that we've done dyno pulls, we've increased the timing until it stopped yielding significant gains. I give it a degree here and see what it makes. Try to get that 4-digit number. I'm not too concerned about it, but we'll do one more just to see what it'll do. So that went well. It didn't actually really go up in boost very much. I mean, I don't know, it might be difference in data points on the log, but it shows that it pretty much did the same thing, 22.7. The other one was 22.7 PSI also. The only difference was about a degree of timing. This was on, and we're not doing much. If it's gaining this much horsepower per degree, it means we can continue to go up in timing. That also shows us that we're being pretty gentle on the motor. We're causing our max expansion to be when the piston is already well on its way down, and that's what we want. We want a gentle push down instead of having a decent amount of pressure building up and having max expansion happen really, really close to top dead center, or, you know, having a significant amount of pressure that's happening before the piston's all the way up at the top. You know, I think that's the way that you keep these things alive. That's what we've always done in the small motor stuff. They have relatively weak motors as well. But yeah, so it was good. So basically it made 1,060. So it went from about 996 to 1,060 on, I mean, let's just call it half a pound of boost. You know, maybe it did, but it shows the exact same here. So take that as you will. There may have been a tiny bit more boost, but the reading doesn't show it. So I have to attribute that to the degree of timing. But realistically, it was probably a tiny bit more boost and another degree. And I think we're still probably in the range of making like 15 to 20 horsepower per degree. We could probably continue to do that for another like 5 degrees, obviously being diminishing returns as we go through. But I'd just rather leave it. If we're making the power that we want to make at this timing level, I'd really rather keep it there. I'd rather do more boost if we needed more power than do more timing. So probably keep it there because it seems very happy, but awesome. 4-digit number. It's no 1,200 horsepower like you know, all of my friends used to give me crap about, but it does make in the 4 digits now. So it's a good milestone for Liam. I mean, we went from the first time that we put it together, we were probably making around like just under 700. Then we went to 750, and then we put in a new cam and it was about 850. And so once we got down here, we weren't really sure. I think it was probably around 920, like what we made on the old turbo. Now that we got this new turbo on there and the injectors, we're good to make a lot more power if we want to. So now we're just at the mercy of the stock motor. What can the stock motor hold? And so yeah, all around, good showing.